So Brian and Conrad, I want to pop up another question for you. I think that's important. Lots of people asking. This income tax has $1 million income exception. So they said, hey, they're only tax rich. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not rich people. Why do I need to worry? Maybe we can start from Conrad.
Okay. We don't realize that it's like a flood. When you open with the gate, everything is going to happen. Even though right now they're saying you have to be a millionaire, but that's just the exemption. But they open up the gate means that they can tax. It doesn't say that you don't tax anything anymore. Yeah. So you start with $1 million, gradually you can lower to any amount, and then the rate can change.
Exactly.
Because the legislation, the system already exists open. Yeah. And so nobody's going to be able to stop it. If we cannot stop it now, imagine how can that be stopped, no matter what people do. So that's a simple explanation. And so I believe that it's a motivation also for people to say, if I avoid tax, I don't want to be a millionaire. There's nothing wrong with being a millionaire. I always tell people, financial management in government, you ask me, as my experience, I'm considered a fiscal hawk on the city council. If you don't know how to spend your money right, eventually you're going to run out of it. Or you say, what's easy? Because all can always tax. So you don't have to worry about where the money goes. Just, it's a good thing. Well, I feel somebody need help, so let's do it. But where's the money coming from? That's the first question. It doesn't come from trees, doesn't grow from the grass. People have to work for it. People have to be entrepreneurial. People have to work hard. People have to save. People have to do the right things that we're talking about. When you do one thing, you affect the other thing. If you say, we take more money to do this, you don't have enough money to do other things that will make you productive. Then what you do, people leave, people go somewhere else, and people have no incentive to work. Again, I mentioned as an immigrant, you come here, every immigrant work hard because they know, you have to work in order to survive. Then hopefully there's opportunity, you do better. You can raise a kid. Then you can educate them better. You can send them to better schools, better college. Then you have time to develop other things. Otherwise, if you don't, why bother, right? And that's why people leave where they are in their old country, come to the United States. So I don't want the United States to be turned into another country that have to go somewhere else.
Right.
Like you are going to another state. That's escapism. That's negative. We need to be productive.
Exactly. So I think this income tax is not a millionaire issue. It's actually everybody's issue.
100%. In fact, I think all you need to do is listen to the legislators themselves. Several of them said, no, several Democrats, Larry Springer, who is my representative in Redmond, said, oh yeah, they're going to spread this to everybody. Jamie Pedersen has said, I really want a tax on everybody. This is the foot in the door. So they're saying that very clearly. And then in the last legislative session, an amendment was offered that said, hey, can you put this into the law? This tax can never go below $1 million. And overwhelmingly, they rejected that amendment. So that tells you that their plan 100% is to lower it's not maybe they might, maybe in the future. That's not the case. They absolutely will. They built the law so that they could. There's a couple of things that number two is that I think people need to ask, our budget has gone from $30 billion several years ago to $80 billion. Have the roads gotten twice as good? Are the services they're offering better by that much? Is public safety gotten better? It hasn't. Are the bridges in better condition? No, they're not. They're in worse condition. So they already have a lot of money. Are they using it like they should? Before they come and take more money, I think we need to ask that question. And the third is, there is a very real capital flight happening. There are, and I hear, I'm going out and talking to people trying to get support for this income tax. And 50% of the people I talk to are, well, maybe about 20% of them are already moving. They're not waiting to do it. They're already gone. And many of them already had a house in Montana or in Wyoming. The very wealthy already had houses in other places. They just switch. There's another group that are based here, and they're now looking at Nevada and Idaho and different states. And then there's one more part that I think is really important for people to understand. The way this tax hits, if you're a farmer, let's say, and a farmer out in Yakima, and they've got a bunch of acres, they'll have a year where they lose money, lose money, lose money, lose money, make money, lose money, lose money. And in that 1 year out of 5 where they make money, it has to cover all the years before and all the years after. So for 1 year, they're very wealthy on paper, but they have been losing money every year. So it punishes farmers. The same is true for construction companies. Construction companies will have really big years and then lose years. And if you're working for a construction company or any of these, if I'm suddenly paying a lot of taxes, construction companies are shutting down. They'll go to other states where they can make money. If you look at restaurants, similar problem for restaurants. Not quite as big of swings, but COVID happens and suddenly you have bad years. How do you make it up the next year? But if you have a good year the next year, you'll get taxed. So right now, the people that will be impacted, people might think, oh, it's not going to impact me, but your employer is going to be impacted for sure. The company, the food that you eat is going to be impacted. The cost of food will go up because it costs more to make it, but for the ranches. You already talked about the gas taxes it's really expensive here because we tax gasoline more than Hawaii, which has to ship all their gas there. We tax it so much that everything is expensive, and it's going to get even more so with this tax because businesses will shut down and they'll leave. And I think if you go downtown Seattle, you can go downtown Seattle to see what the future looks like. Right now, Seattle is 40%. The official number is 30, but economists think that 40% of Seattle offices are empty. And what does that do? And Seattle is if we look into the mirror in Seattle, right? Downtown businesses have shut down. All the sandwich shop and the grocery store, they're not downtown because there's no clients to come. When they leave, then and when those shut down, it impacts everybody else. And I think we're looking at this income tax will cause that to happen across the whole state.
I totally agree. I remember there's an interview on the former governor.
Gregoire.
Yes. She even mentioned our state does not have a revenue issue. We have a spending issue. Yes. That's the thing. And I would like to share my personal story. Since I immigrated to United States, we lived here. Me and my husband start our small business in tiny one car garage. We have living multi-family apartment, so has a garage. So we piled a lot of inventory in our garage. We have a full-time job during the daytime. And after we finished the job, we came home. So we have to pack the good and ship it out, work until the late night. And with years of the hard work, we finally fulfill our dream. We have a warehouse. We have a team of employees who like our families. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So some of our employees followed us for years. We are very proud. We increase the wage. We provide health care insurance. And we also, very proud to see our employee purchase their first car, purchase their first home, grow alongside us. So we really don't want to move. However, as you mentioned, the farmers, the constructor, companies, we are small business owner. Right. We are S corporation. So all the income, the profits pass through to the individual's head. But this amount of the money is actually not the cash we can put into the pocket and spend. Mm-hmm. It's actually, we use part part of the amount of that profit to buy the inventory. So it's actually lots of money already on the inventory, but on the tax claim, that form, it looks like a profit. But if they add income tax on it, it will be very hard for us to pay it.
Right.
Right. So it's actually jeopardize our business. We cannot invest in the future. And also, we just noticed in the last few years, the lawmakers, they're adding tax every year. They're adding different kind of tax every year. So for us, the margin already kind of narrow. Now it's at a burden and the burden. We don't know where is our future. I hate to leave. As I said, I lived here for so long and I love the state. My kids don't want to leave because they're in school. They have friends here. My parents live in Vancouver, Canada. They're in senior care center. They have, lots of physical issues. Allow me living here, I can visit them frequently, taking care of them. But if I move to other states, it will be very difficult for my family.
Start over.
Yes, exactly. So it's very difficult. It's heartbroken to see lots of business owners like me, small business owners, we have to choose between our business, our employee, and our family,
right,
and our income. So this is really heartbroken. So I think this new income tax affected everybody, not just millionaires.
Yeah.
Yes, this is actually the working families issue as well.